Okay, that didn't say that. Ah, okay, I'm here now. It's Steffi from The Makers. I've just been talking to myself and I've said a rude word as well, so it's just as well I was on silent. I forgot to upload a start screen, so you got me straight away from the beginning. And hello, everybody. It's been a bit of a manic morning, I will be totally honest, because yeah, it's just been a little bit crazy. So hopefully yeah, you can all hear me, you can see me, and of course it's the exciting time of the month. It's actually one day early because it's only the 30th of November today, but I'm already talking about the December makers boxes, and I will be showing them off to you, and I will give you really good useful tips and hints. And if you're wondering why I've got my shirt sleeves open, it's because I've got really long arms and no shirts ever fit me. Who else has got this problem? I absolutely hate it. If I buy clothes from Germany, then they do fit me, but if I buy them in the UK, they don't. The sleeves are always too short, and it's maybe, I don't know, maybe the Germans are closer related to chimpanzees still. I have no idea, but that's why I'm only sort of half dressed. I do apologize. So it's been, like I said, a bit of a crazy morning. I've just had a call from my son, who now has to self-isolate because somebody who serves in the cafe at the school has tested positive, and so he's been sent home. He's got no symptoms, he's perfectly healthy, but that's just how it is. I'm sure you can tell lots and lots of stories of the similar kind. I'm just going to check in who is here today. I've got lots of people. Got Donna and Jane and Diane and Laura and Fanny and Gina and Rachel with Daniel, and who else have we got? Serena and Alicia is there, back from work. She's already been busy, and Julie and Jane. I've probably said that already. Oh my goodness, you're all, oh, good morning. You're all saying good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And Erica is there as well. Excellent. Oh, and Jane says she's got the same problems with sleeves. Just, you know, why are they skimping with the fabric? Just it's better to have long sleeves and roll them up, surely, than not being able to cover your wrists every time, or you know, you can't, you have to do everything like this because that's the only movement you get with short sleeves if you button them up. So anyway, right, onwards with our exciting unwrapping of the boxes. And this month, well, next month, December, if you're watching this live, then you just have to wait one more day before you can jump onto the computer and get your subscription box if you're not already subscribed. On the 1st of December, this is tomorrow, if you're watching this live today, will be the new subscription boxes. And we're starting today with, let's start with a fairy box. So the fairy box is, this month, is it's a Snowdrop Sprite, and it's one, I already know it's one of my favorites because I remember when my children were little, and this is the little fairy that the little sprite that you can make. She's really delightful. She's got a little bell that she's got here, ding-a-ling-a-ling, and then she's got also a bell in her, can you hear that? Bell in her little snowdrop, flower snowdrop. And I don't want to embarrass myself by singing the song, but I used to sing a really lovely song with my children, and the verses goes like this: snowdrop, snowdrop, little drop of snow, what do you do when the cold winds blow? And then you make this: I hide my little head and say, cold wind, go away. And that's what I used to sing with my children. But the second verse is much nicer, and it says, snowdrop, little drop of snow, what do you say? No, what do you sing? No, oh, I can't remember now. It's in the box. Let's just have a look. I've written down the verse in the box. I just need to open this. Oh, it's just gone out of my head. It's too much in my head. And I haven't got any scissors here either. I told you, it's been a manic morning. Just now piercing this label open with a felting needle so I can tear it open. That's a handy trick. If you ever don't have needles, just perforate your label with a felting needle, and then hopefully it will just open magically, or not. Yes, it does. Okay, there you go. So I need to know this. Snowdrop, snowdrop, little drop of snow. What do you do when the sun shines bright? That's it. I ring my little bell and sing, ting-a-ling, ting-a-ling, here comes spring. I love that so much, and it's such a sweet little song. One day I'll sing it to you. Right, I've opened this box, and I normally do this overhead, so I'm going straight onto the overhead camera so you can join me with opening this box. There's the little snowdrop. You can have a closer look as well. She's got a little silver bell hanging on her hand. She's got special hair. I'm really excited about this because I tried something, I experimented and worked really well with the sparkly stuff. And then you can make her a little snowdrop. You just make one, but I won't take it out of her hand. I'll just show you another one. And inside the snowdrop, you've got a little silver bell, and that is what's making that delightful noise. Absolutely love it. And this little petal is made with the felt that comes in the box, and you wrap a bit of wool around it and you get one of these green wire stems in there. So you do need to have some pliers with this particular project. But we tell you all of this in the box. So there's the newsletter is always with a fairy box. And well, what can I say? We say goodbye to 2020 and look forward to 2021. I think it's fair to say that we're all looking forward to a new beginning and a new year with lots of hope and anticipation, and yet we're also cautious not to be too, I don't know, we don't want to wish everything away. Whatever's happened this year, I'm sure it's taught us some valuable lessons. And there are the instructions. As you know, with all of our instructions, we've got a tape measure on the left-hand side of every page, which is in centimeters because we use centimeters in our instructions. So if you're an inches person, then don't worry, you will not be left out because you can just hold whatever you're making against the tape measure there. And we also have got templates, which are really handy because you're going to have to cut out 3 petals to make her little dress there, and you also have to cut out 3 petals to make her little the little snowdrop flower. So that's basically the instructions step by step, as with all of our instructions, exactly in that style. So don't ever worry about the end, just start at the beginning and take it step by step. And let's have a look what else is inside here. Nicely packed as always. So this one's got quite a lot of accessories. You always get one medium felting needle, whether you buy this as a subscription or as a one-off box. And then you get the wool to make the fairy, obviously. This time in December, you will get this lovely pale green. It's one of these colors that I can never quite decide, is it green or yellow, until you hold it against yellow and then you know it's green. This one you need as well. You get, this is the sparkly stuff I was telling you about. It's not a natural fiber, I will be honest, but it has got some really great magic that I will tell you about in a minute. Then you get your half wire stem here to make the snowdrop. You get your felt, no, that's the pre-felt even, and you get the pipe cleaners, which you need as well, of course. And then let's have a look in the little accessories envelope here. See what's inside. Crunch, crunch, crunch. So in here you are getting, oh, there's something missing still. You're getting your extra strong thread because you need that to tie around the base of the head. You're also getting a little bit of red thread because, again, there is a new technique on that little fairy that I will show you. This is to make the small flower petals for the snowdrop. Then you get your tiny little silver bell that hangs inside that snowdrop flower, and you get an extra little, so you can tingling the bell. And there is also a brown bit of thread in there, which I will take out because, again, that's part of how you make the face on this one. Remember, with all of the fairies, you don't have to give them faces. They look absolutely perfect without it too. And I'm just going to keep these 2 things out because that's what I need to show you some more details and give you some hints and tips on how to make this little fairy. With our fairy subscription boxes, remember, you can also buy them as a one-off box. Costs just a little bit more, so you do actually save if you are buying this as a subscription. And we only produce so many, so once they're gone, they're gone. And there was something, oh yes, and all of our subscription boxes, we never tie you in a contract. We want you to be really excited and not feel overwhelmed with the subscription. So if at any point you need to unsubscribe, then that's absolutely fine. Or you skip a payment. We don't want you to feel like you're put under pressure by us crazy needle felting people at the makers. So I'm just going to have a little look what's happening here with the chat. I'm really pleased you ladies have been so busy. It's nice to see such a lovely business doing well. Oh, thank you, Lizzie. So that reminds me, you're probably referring to our special sale that we've got on today and tomorrow still. And no, not tomorrow. It ends today. I'm still in yesterday. I've been working all weekend, so it's no difference. I don't know what day of the week it is. It ends today on the 30th of November, and you can get 20% off on all of our products except the subscription boxes, but you can get 20% off on a one-off purchase, but not on this one because that's not available until tomorrow. But in general, on the fairy boxes, whatever is still on offer. And for this, you need to use the code RAINBOW 2020. And you have got all day and all evening and until 1 minute to midnight, and then everything turns into a pumpkin, basically. So if you want to use that code, and it's rainbow, all in large letters, as you spell rainbow, and then it's 2020 without a space. And oh, I've got a poster. Ah, look, there. How about that? Valid until Monday the 30th of November 2020, discount code Rainbow 2020. Now you've seen it and I show it to you again. We've already had lots and lots of people stocking up and maybe buying some Christmas presents, maybe buying presents for yourself as well. So yeah, please make sure you make use of this code. And let's do a little bit of practical tips on the Snowdrop Fairy. And I'm starting... so I've prepped the fairy up so that she looks like this now. So if you have never watched any of our fairy box unwrapping and tips and tricks that we share with you, so we what we have done, we've done lots and lots of different fairy tutorials, and to get to this stage, you can watch different tutorials that are still on, that have stayed on the YouTube, on our YouTube channel. And so starting with just looking at some of, so you can make, there is definitely a tutorial of how to make the head with the how to make heads with moustache lollipop technique. That was first shown on July the 13th, so it will show you how to make this head. It will show you how to attach pipe cleaner legs. Excuse me, little fairy. So to get the legs onto the fairy, it will show you how to do this, but it will also show you, and that one was on September the 7th. And then we also have a tutorial of how to make the legs, and that was on June the 3rd. We have got a tutorial of how to wrap the arms with wool, so the pipe cleaner arms with wool, and that was on July the 13th. And we have got, oh yes, and we have got a tutorial on the YouTube channel how to use bats and tops to dress fairies, and that was on July the 13th. So she has got a bat cover on here at the moment. That's all she's having. She's not having a top cover, but you can definitely watch the tutorial on how to do this as well. So for what I want to show you today is how to make her little face. And for this you need a sewing needle. I've brought two here because I wasn't sure. Well, let's try this one. I wasn't sure which one would work best. And so you've got your brown thread here, and you thread your needle. There you go. And then you could double it up. It does actually work doubled up there. And then you obviously, you know where the front and where the back of the fairy is. You have to turn her over, and you're going to secure the thread here at the back of her head. And this won't look nice. It doesn't have to look nice. You just want to go in and out, like make sort of 3 loops just to have the thread secure, and then you've got to go through the head, sort of make a mental note where the eyes would be. You want them to be sort of halfway down the middle of the head. So I'm making one, and don't pull too tight. That's one of the other things, is because this cover on her face has not been needle felted, so it's quite soft, and if you pull it too tight, they sort of disappear. And then you just go in and out in a loop twice or 3 times, and then you go across to the other side where the second eye will be, and repeat that. So make sure that your loops are nice and even, and then repeat this on that side. So I've doubled my thread up. If you do this with a single thread, then you have to do more stitches, obviously. And then once you've got 2 eyes looking the same, or as same as you can, go back out through the back, making sure that you're not having sort of any funny business going on with the loops here. And then you secure the thread again, same way as you started out. And I'm going to have to find my scissors now, because I'm not going to chew this thread. I can't stab it to make it come loose. And I know the scissors are here. I just have to literally dig in my toolbox to find them. Come on, little scissors. I know you're hiding here somewhere. Not much luck. No hiding scissors. Might have to get up and get them. Okay, I am just leaving you adoring my little fairy. I'm not leaving you, but I'm just going to, I have no idea what happened to my scissors. They probably sailed down on the floor, and I'm just going to use some a little bit bigger than the ones that I normally use, but so be it. Okay, back again. So I'm just going to cut that little thread there. That's done for the eyes. And now I'm going to do exactly the same for the mouth, but I only have to do one area, obviously, because I've got 2 eyes and 1 mouth. So thread the needle, double up the thread if you want to, or keep it single. That's entirely up to you. Secure the thread at the back of the head. Don't worry what that's going to look like, because you're going to cover that up with hair. Then go through the head all the way. Oh. So the mouth needs to be equal distance from the eye, so it's like a triangle. So this distance between the eyes and from there to the mouth should be roughly the same. That makes quite a neat looking face. And then you go do exactly the same what you did with the eyes, and then go back out through the back. If you wish to give your fairy a face. If you don't, if we've done lots of fairies without faces, that's fine too. And then just secure the thread at the back again. It's almost a bit tight because I don't want to pull. And then just cut the thread. And that is how you make the face, basically. So I hope that has been helpful to see. There's a little face now. It's got a little red mouth and 2 brown eyes. And that's basically how I've made her face. Right. If you've got any questions and you're watching this live, then pop this on the comments, and we'll catch them. I also should say, just if you're watching this whilst it's not live, then obviously you will have missed the discount code, very likely, unless you're watching it today on the 30th of November. The discount code, which is Rainbow 2020, will expire at midnight, well, a minute before midnight tonight. So I'm sorry if you've missed out, but there might be other ones going on if you watch this anytime later. I'm just going to have a little check what people are saying. Emma very kindly has shared all the links to go with the different tutorials that I've mentioned. Somebody's used the code to buy a Christmas present for his partner. That's a real nice one. Oh, nice. Well, Catherine, we could tell you what he's ordered, but we won't spoil it for you. As in my typical style, I'm reading from the bottom up, which makes no sense whatsoever. So I'm just skimming it. Oh, Lizzie says she's got the same problem with the sleeves and she's only 5 foot tall. Well, I've got an image now, Lizzie, with your arms. They must be hanging down to your knees. Mine definitely do. But then, you know, everybody's different. So can we just have long sleeves, please? Um, oh yeah, definitely. I agree with you, Lizzie. He's a keeper, Catherine. Yeah, anybody who buys lots and lots of Christmas presents from us is definitely a keeper. Faith says, looks like I need to do a little shop. Ooh, looks like it, Faith. And Catherine says, don't tempt me. Well, right, I leave that to you to decide. So the next thing I would like to do is I would like to show you how to tuck her little skirt in, because she's looking a bit disheveled at the moment. And what is really nice with these little Snowdrop sprites is that they almost sort of got like a little bell shaped skirt. So I will show you how to do this, and then I'll show you how to attach the petals as well. So let's just go to the larger overhead camera again so you can see it better. And I'm going to show you how to do this. So basically you've got one single felting needle. Sorry, I don't think you've ever looked up a fairy skirt, have you? So for this one, you just literally fold it in with your hands so you have a nice round edge. And then you use your felting needle, and you're just gonna hold it while you're stabbing into, I was gonna say into thin air, but it is almost a little bit like that. So you folded the skirt in, and then you just stab from the underneath, and you might just have to join the sides together to do this. So you're stabbing from the inside first and stab that so that your little Snowdrop is quite acrobatic. She's standing on her head currently, and you're just literally stabbing into the hem of her dress from the inside first, and then you can tidy it up from the outside if you want, if you need to. You can bend her legs out of the way if they get in your way, and that way you can make sort of quite a nice little bell-shaped dress. So you don't need a felting mat for this, because you don't want to flat felt anything. You just, all you want to do is shape the seam of that little dress or skirt that she's wearing, so that her lovely little candy striped legs are exposed. And remember, we do have a tutorial of how to make these candy striped legs, and that one was on June the 3rd, so have a look, and it says how to make fairy legs. Because we've used this technique before with our forget-me-not fairy, so if you can remember that, then you know for sure how to do this. And now she's got quite a nice sort of little shaped, almost like a little bell herself, as she's a Snowdrop Sprite. And especially if you imagine you're going to tuck her waist in by attaching the petals onto her, which is the thing I'm going to show you next. But I will just, I'll do that straight away, why ever not? It's the same thing. So I will just say that this pre-felt that I'm using here actually cut the wrong one up. You're getting one that's much thicker, which works actually much better. Like on the original fairy, this one here is a nicer, thicker felt. But I've got the wrong one here right now, but so be it. Right, so the thing that you need to do is, or I suggest you can do this differently. The way you put the petals onto her is that she's got one on either side, to the right and to the left at the front, and then one here at the back. So they're sort of equal distance, if you imagine that. And you're just going to felt them on so that they stay in place with your felting needle into her waistline. So this is just so that you don't have to hold them anymore. Just felt them onto her. She looks like she's trying to crawl away. Get me away. She looks like a ladybug. And so now they're just fastened on. And then you have your little bit of green. You can't use all of this, by the way, because well, depending which order you're making things in, if you follow the instructions, but this little bit of green around the snowdrop flower has got that same green. So don't use up all the green to make your little dress there. And then you're putting this around her waist, and I think it looks really nice if you can then felt this waist down as small as you can, so that it really does pinch in. And all you need to do is just stab into the green so that you make a nice neat line and try and keep that quite even. Again, you don't need a felting mat for this because you're sort of stabbing into quite a bulky part there still. So just fasten that waistband on first, and then you can work on reducing the size a little bit more. And that's basically how you first of all fasten the petals on. So let's work on reducing the size. It might take a little while. She's been eating too much, this little fairy. Got to make her waist shrink a bit. There. You don't have to give her a skinny waist. It's not essential. You can have a little snowdrop that has got a chubbier waist. That's absolutely fine. I just thought it looks more like a bell, but if you like it a little bit thicker around the middle, then that's absolutely fine. Some of us don't seem to get a choice these days. Right, so that's basically as much as I'm doing. I know that I've reduced the size on the others a bit more, but I'd be sitting here. There's still a lot of scope to felt it. Now, it would be good to check how these petals, how far down they reach. If they're really massively long, then you can reduce the size of them, and I'll show you in a minute how. But in any case, you do want to needle felt now from the underneath of these petals as well. So if you need to reduce the length of the petals, then you're going to do this quite vigorously. But otherwise, you are actually felting into this gap here, but almost more into the white, because what you're doing that way, you're sort of almost helping the petal to become a rounder. Can you see how that makes it more like a bell shape? Whereas this is quite flat here. But as soon as you, where's the one I've made? There. As soon as you felt into it, it just helps the shape of the petal to come outward a little bit, and then it makes a more sort of bell shape. Because I don't know, I just think of little snowdrops. I always think of them as little bell flowers. So you're felting into the white, and with a thicker felt, it will work a lot quicker and better. So it's just that the thin felt is not the most suitable for doing this. And remember, we do sell the pre-felt as well, of course, separately. So you can make lots and lots more of these little snowdrops. Everything that you're getting to make this snowdrop flower is also something that we sell, and I'll talk a little bit more about these flowers. But that's basically how you make the little dress of the snowdrop fairy and give her. So the petals should just be reaching on the floor, which they are. Okay. I had so much fun making her. I absolutely loved it. It's just been such a delight. Especially if you make these little flowers. So these little flowers, even though she's only getting one, I really like it that you could almost just make them for fun and put them in the flower vase, because they're actually really realistic looking and they tingle. Love that too. So don't be just don't, you can get the ingredients to buy just the stuff to make these flowers, and I feel like I want to do a little tutorial on just on those flowers. So that's maybe something I'm gonna do. So I will tell you what's in these little snowdrop flowers, so that if you want to make these without the fairy box, you can. And I'm definitely planning to do a little tutorial on this. We might have a spare date somewhere, and I sneak it in. And so basically, what you need for this is the green wire stems, and I've halved. These are half, so they're normally 36 centimeters long. So this is obviously halved. God, that's 18 centimeters basically. Then you don't need a little silver bell, but it's definitely more fun. So there's a little silver bell in there, and I think we will integrate these into our stock. And then you need the white wool viscose felt, which we sell in felt sheets. And then you need just that dark forest green New Zealand merino, which is what I've used on here, and you need a dab of glue. That's all. And probably pliers to bend the wire, because this is pretty stiff. And yeah, like I say, just these on their own are like a little project that you could be making if you didn't want to make the actual Snowdrop fairy. And I'm hoping that I can squeeze in a little tutorial, even if it's just like a 15-minute how-to on, maybe I do that on Instagram one day. Right. So that is covering most of the Snowdrop fairy. I will just have a little chat with you about her hair. So her hair is basically, I've used the sparkly stuff, and to make the hair curly as it's here, and it to me it just looks like, you know, when snowdrops, they sometimes break through the icy surface of a thin cover of snow. To me it is just like that. So it's like she's just sort of popped her head out through a thin layer of snow that's sort of slightly frosted over. And you do, if you watch our how to make curls for fairies, which was first shown on our YouTube channel on the 5th of May, then you follow the instructions exactly. Either you need a crochet hook or you need a skewer, like a wooden skewer, bamboo skewer, and you work in really small, thin quantities. So if you can crochet, you crochet a chain. If you can't crochet, then wrap it around a skewer. But contrary to wrapping wire, you're actually allowing it to twist. So you're putting a twist onto it as well. And the only difference between how you make curls and how you use the extra, the sparkly fiber, is that instead of making it just wet, you're actually pouring hot water over it. So you boil the kettle, and you mind your fingers, of course, and then once it's in the chain or on the skewer, then you pour hot water over it, and it because it's a not a natural fiber, it actually sort of like crinkles up a bit. It looks a bit smaller, and then you let it completely dry. So make sure that it is absolutely dry, not just a little bit, but completely dry. And then when it's dry and you uncurl it, so take it off the skewer or unchain the chain that you've crocheted, it is the most fantastic curly sparkly hair. And I was so pleased that actually worked. Yeah, it was just an experiment, and I was very happy. It was a nightmare apparently to photograph because it's so frizzy and so white against the white background, but it's definitely worth it. And I think that's basically all about the fairy, because you're probably also dying to now learn more about or the little Snowdrop Sprite that's covered the fairy box for December. And now you probably want to learn more about what's happening in the Maker's Box this month. So the Maker's Box, as you probably remember, and as you all know, and maybe some of you do and some of you don't, the Maker's Box is mostly to do with animals. So whether we're doing small or big or whatever. So this month is going to be a large project again, and it's our little kitten in a basket. That's what the Maker's Box is going to be. I'm very conscious that not everybody is a cat lover, but I'm sure you know a cat lover, and maybe it makes a nice Christmas present. And also, I just think it's really nice to, it feels really cozy. I always imagine, I don't have a fireplace anymore, sadly. And I always think, oh, well, it's better for the environment as well. But in any case, it's really nice to imagine you have a curled up kitten next to the fire. And cats do love the heat. I have got 2 cats, and sometimes I laugh because even just the radiator, they're sort of like, if they could crawl inside the radiator, they would. And they certainly loved when we did have a fireplace, they loved it. So this is what the December Maker's Box makes, which is the large curled up kitten, and you get to make the cat bed as well, which went there that way. So this is using our structural felt again. So let's have a look what's inside the box. This one. I'm going to open this with you with the overhead camera. So it's definitely the kitten. We're on number 43. Goodness gracious, that's I think, I can't, oh my goodness, how many? That is, oh, that's over 3 years that we've been doing the Maker's Box. And I'm sure that there are some that have been there from the beginning. That is quite an achievement. Thank you very much, everybody who's supporting us. So the newsletter that comes in all of our boxes or kits or whatever you buy from us this month has got a free tutorial on the back, and how much more appropriate could it be than to make a mouse. So you could make a little mouse to go with your little sleepy kitten in the basket, and the mouse could just be running circles around the kitten because she won't know she's fast asleep. And then of course you always get the newsletter in our Maker's Box. So, oh yes, and this is what reminded me. I don't know if any of you know all these amazing stories about Christmas kittens, but the one that's always, even just thinking about it now, brings tears to my eyes is the one from the Christmas Kitten with by James Herriot. And it's this little kitten, oh, and I can't even retell it, but it's just the cutest and sweetest story ever. I remember reading it for my children, but I actually only read it for myself, to be honest. So if you know little Christmas kitten stories, we definitely would like to hear them when you share them on our Maker, Everyone a Maker. Remember, you can join our Facebook group, Everyone a Maker, if you want to participate in the competitions that we do around our subscription boxes. And I think we've just found ourselves a topic for the kitten in the basket. So you get a big bag of wool. You in there this month is lots of Shetland wool. Then you get of course the colors to color in the kitten, which is this lovely fox rust brown variegated. You get some black. You get a bit of the fox orange, because it mixes really well with the other colors. And then kittens have actually got, surprisingly, they have got quite pink noses. So at first I thought, oh, let's go with flesh pink, but it's not quite the right color. And then you can choose whatever you want. And then the green is obviously to decorate the rim of the basket that you will be sewing. So this is all your lovely wool in there. Quite a big bag. We always have to sort of sit on the boxes to close them. This one is a wire project. So you get our cotton covered copper wire, which is the 1.5 millimeter in there. And the technique will be explained in the instructions, of course. You get whiskers. They're invisible, but they're there. So the little cat has got horsetail for whiskers. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe just if I don't know. Can you see the little whiskers? Yeah, there. Look, you can see them now against the structural felt. So you can make little whiskers into your sleeping kitten, onto your sleeping kitten. And then, of course, you get the materials to make the basket. Now, I'm not going to show you how to make the basket because it's dead simple. It is described on the instructions, but you basically cut this into an oval shape, and then you just sew the top around it with an opening at the front, and then you can decorate it to your liking, or you can use the green wool that comes in the pack to decorate the top. So those of you who've had the November subscription box, you will be all too familiar with the structural core felt. You will also know that the structural core felt, if you work with it, it can sort of shed a lot of tiny little fibers. So be mindful of that when you're cutting it, that you just keep your mask on. I'm going to pack this up again so I can show you some tips and techniques on the little kitten. And this is basically the Maker's Box for December, which is available as of the 1st of December. And if you're watching this today, it's the 30th of November. And so you're just going to have to wait for another day if you want to subscribe to this box, or if you're already subscribing, this is what you're going to get in December. It is quite a simple project, I will be honest, but getting ahead for a cat ride can be a bit of a nightmare, and at some point your cat will look like this. Pretty horrid. But then you know that most of the creations that you make at some, they go through a transformation, and they might look very different from what they end up looking. So what I want to show you today is there are two techniques of how to sculpt a face. So this one, with this particular project, what you're learning new, and so this might be worth all the effort, because we're teaching in the instructions of how to sculpt a face by adding lots of padding and wadding, not wadding, but you know what I mean, to pat it up so that you can felt it down and put the all the extra wool in the right places. And I'm going to give you a little insight into that right now. So you do, at first the kitten will have sort of quite a flat face, and what you do is you use your white Shetland, which I'm gonna have to. Sorry, no, that's not it. Oh goodness me, I am so disorganized today. Just bear with me. I'm just grabbing some white wool. I had it all, but it's in the wrong place. So okay, I'm leaving you again. I am such a bad host today. I'm really sorry, but I'm sure you've got lots to talk about while I'm away. There. Okay, got my white wool. Okay, coming back. Here we are. Oops, sorry, that was my head. Oh, I'm seated again. I sound like an old woman. Okay, right, here we go. So there are two ways of patting, making sort of features on the face of the cat, because what you need to do is you need to build the cheeks up, you need to build the forehead up, and potentially the back as well. And you might even have to build a bit more of the chin up. So this is all things, if you're looking at it like this and you stab and you stab and you stab, all you're doing is you're reducing the size of the head, but actually all you want to do is you want to actually add features. So there are two ways of adding details or bulk to your face. One is not your face, but the kitten's face. One is by taking little wisps of wool and laying them on top of each other. This is all explained in the box as well. And you're making a very soft wadding to then put into the place where the kitten might need it. So I'm going to put this under his chin now. And then you just stab it down. I don't know why I'm calling him a he, because definitely the other kitten is more like a she. And then you felt this down initially on the outside of that new what that you've made, and then you can felt more into it all over. So that adds bulk to your. That's one way of adding bulk. The other way to do it is where you take a bit of wool and you're actually folding it into almost sort of the shape that you want it to be. So it has got like really distinct edges, and you lay that onto your kitten. So I'm just building up a bit of bulk here on the side, and it doesn't look right straight away, because obviously it looks like you've just added a separate shape onto the face of the cat. But bear with me on this one. So you're just felting this down so that it sticks to it. Go into the shape. Need to get this chin down a bit more. Probably didn't need anything on the chin actually, but just thought I'd show it to you on there. And then obviously you're doing the same on the other side, and it really doesn't look like it's meant to look like that. But bear with me, like I say. Do it on the other side, so have at least the two sides the same, even if it looks weird. So it's like putting a hamster cheek onto the side of the cat. And what you might find is that you almost sort of and that there's nothing wrong with that. You can over stylize your cat. If you're really struggling to make it a realistic looking cat, then just make it a stylized cat, which will be super cute because it's a sleepy cat. So make sure that these two bits are in the same line, and then to get rid of what looks like you've just attached it, that's the last step of the second way of how you do this. You just cover the whole thing with a really thin layer of wool. So you're stabbing all over to get it to fasten in, so that you're basically just letting the feature show rather than the details of attaching it. And then you might have to add the eye indentations in again and stab all over. But that way you are getting rid of that look as if it's just been put on there superficially and integrated to the whole of the. So you can see that now suddenly from this it goes to that. So that's the way of how you can add the features to the cat's face and work on that. And this needs felting down a lot more because it's really quite soft still. So the head will actually shrink a lot more in size, and but it will sort of just give that really nice chubby look of the kitten that you want. Kittens have got quite blunt faces, so often more adult cats, they might have a more pronounced nose and face. If you want to do that, then feel free to do that, but obviously we're working on a kitten here, so you've got more of a flat face to work with. So that was ooh, got fluff up my nose now. That is one of the techniques that I wanted to share with you. You do the whole head and the whole body has got that wire running inside. There in the instruction it tells you to mark your wire, and I've put a green ring around there. This is 20 centimeters. And that is important because we need to keep that reserved for the tail. And I want to show you how to do the tail, because that is a new technique that you might or might not have done. If you've done our squirrel kit, then you will have done it. If you have watched our tutorial on how to do a pom-pom tail, then you might have watched this too. That is just a tutorial on our website. It's not like a video or anything like this, but I will show you this now. So this is how to make a pom-pom tail with a wire inside so that it's posable. You can also make the same tail without a wire inside, but that's then it's just a floppy tail. Okay, so let's do this. So what you need is a cardboard piece. We sort of suggest use a thin cardboard, like from a cereal box or something like that. And it needs to be obviously the length of your tail there, like that. So it needs to fit onto here. And then the other thing that you do need is a needle and thread, she said, with anxiety rising. I've got thread somewhere. Just gonna have to get up and get it. Oh my goodness, what am I like today? Oh, okay, and it's not so far at all, but I still have to go and get it. I've got it here. And what I'm using is red thread so that you can see. That's not what you're using, but I'm using red thread so you can see the stitches that I'm putting in there. And I'm actually using, you need a strong thread, otherwise it won't work if you've got one that tears easily. Right, I'm going to cut this. There. And might have to use the other sewing needle, but see how I go. So you're going to thread your needle with the strong thread that you're using. I can't actually remember if you get that in there or not. I haven't looked at the instructions, have I? Let's have a look at the instructions. I'll put it away again, make it all look nice. But let's have a look what you get in there. So yes, no. So you will also need household scissors, pliers, strong needle and strong thread. Okay, so you need to supply your own thread, which if you've got like an embroidery thread or like a strong polyester thread, that is perfect. So once you thread your needle, you lay the tail onto here. Have that at the ready. But now you're going to start wrapping the whole tail up with wool first. And what you can do is you could just bend a tiny bit of that around the end of the cardboard. You need your pliers for that as well, so that it just stays in place once the first layer is put on there. Okay, let's turn this the right way around. I'm not really that clumsy normally. So you can trap the cardboard at the end by there, pinching the wire into it. Got your 20 centimeters there. Then you start out, well, you can start out however you like, but I've started out with black on the cut, and you've got your wool bats, so you have to be obviously careful that you don't tear this. Try and keep it in one continuous length. Wrap it around. This is like making a pom-pom, but you're making a long pom-pom basically. And then the next color is the fox rust brown variegated that you get in your Kitten pack. There, wrap that around next, and then we're using white. So this is if you're making a tortoiseshell kitten, obviously, which is the plan for this one. I'll wrap that around in white. Just a few wraps, and then you're starting over again with black. And you're repeating this. Ideally, you want to finish with black, so have like a black tipped tail. You can shove the colors up a bit if you're running out of space, or stretch them out a little bit more. Go on to that rusty color again. Round white. How many am I doing? How many colors? 1, 2. Yes, so I'm nearly at the end here. I think my cardboard was a tiny bit longer than I said originally. There. And then finish off with the black. There. It's a bit longer, this one, for a tail, for the end of the tail. Okay, so you're just literally layering the wool on there. It's not put on too thick. I mean, you can make it thicker. You just end up with a bushier tail. And then all you're going to do is, and this is the important bit, you're now going to sew along here, but you have to sew so that you trap the wire on 1 minute on one side and then 1 minute on the other side of, just going to stretch that cut out. So whether you start at the top or at the bottom, it doesn't really matter. So you're going in, first of all, and secure your thread. And ideally, if you can see this, I don't know if you can see this, but you need to sew from one side to the other, so that you trap the wire in the middle, but you can't really make huge, I'm going to put a knot on this now. Don't make the stitches too wide, because and you will see in a minute why you can't make them too wide, because what you're creating right now is you're perforating the cardboard with every stitch that you're putting in there. And when you take the cardboard out, the stitches need to be quite close together. So they need to be close together in length, but also in width. So, oh, this is all crinkled up. Sorry, I just need to sort my thread out. I've made a bit of a mess of this. There. You'll see it in a minute when I zigzag in and out, but in really tiny little zigzags. That's what I'm saying. So, and also it's best if you go over it twice. So you're going forward, but at the same time you're going left and right of the wire every time, so you can feel it with your fingers. I've got the wire on the top of the cardboard, so you need to move forward along the tail and get as much of the wool as you can, which is why you need to go over it 2 or 3 times. And every time you stab the needle into the cardboard, that is one perforation, and that will help later to take the cardboard off, which is what you need to do. But you also, so you need to trap the wire and you need to trap the wool with the stitches. So you can't really go along it too often. So I would definitely say 2 to 3 times. And trying to do this as fast as I can so you don't have to watch me. And it looks like, oh, you can see it probably best now with the white stitch, the red against the white. So I'm going in through the cardboard, and I've got my wire now trapped in the middle of that stitch. If you miss it once, if the wire isn't trapped, don't worry too much about it, because you know, if you miss ones, it's not the end of the world. There will be lots of other stitches that has trapped it. So don't be too worried about missing it, but it's more important that you have the stitches nice and close together, so you don't have you don't end up with lots of cardboard left in the tail. And you need that middle line to be quite neat, because that's going to sort of disappear into the middle of the tail, but you don't want it to be a fat center. You want it to be quite thin so that it integrates straight away. I don't know if I'm making any sense whatsoever, but if it helps you at all to look at our website, where we have got a written tutorials, and then of course you get this in our box as well with a that makes the kitten. So I'm gonna try and do this as neat as I can to see if I get away with, I might just get away with one, but I really highly recommend that you go over this 2 or 3 times, so that you don't have to see me do this again when I'm coming back on the tail. And then I'll show you what happens next once you've sewn along the tail. Yeah, so whilst I'm doing this, I am going to just tell you a little bit more of what we're actually up to. So we've got an exciting opportunity to do a tutorial for the Royal Voluntary Services on their online, well, it's a Facebook group called the Virtual Village Hall. I don't know if any of you have come across this, but it is a really exciting opportunity because, well, working with them and supporting a really good cause. And that is happening on the 3rd of December at 11 a.m. I do believe. Emma will put me right if I said that wrong, but no doubt she'll be sharing a link in a minute. And so basically, you can get your heart with ribbon pack now, which is what we've put together as a product. Remember, you can use your discount code if you're ordering today, the 30th of November, and you can make, in effect, 3 hearts with ribbon. I'm just going to put them here so you can look at them while I'm sewing. You can make these very same 3 hearts with the very same ribbon there. And it's a free tutorial. It's only half an hour long, so it's not it's just short and sweet. And that is on Facebook. Look for the Virtual Village Hall. And if you want to get your heart with ribbon pack from us, then you can buy that now. We're selling this now. You get the instructions in the pack as always, so it's not just the wool and the materials, but it doesn't have any tools in it, so you need to use your own tools. And then you can join me live on Facebook, and Emma will be there as support as well on Thursday this week at 11 a.m., which is the 3rd of December, and we can make a lovely heart together and yeah, have a bit of fun. So that's one thing that's happening. We've also got we're also getting excited because we are running a workshop for the Cat Protection League. So we're hoping that we can promote that as much as we can with this month, next month, so December's Makers Box. And it's basically it's a mini tiny little version of the cat that you're making here, but of course you would be supporting the cat protection as well, in helping them rehome cats, look after stray cats, help ill and injured cats. And yeah, if you're a cat lover, then that's probably something that you love getting involved in anyway. But that is not until the end of February, but you can already get excited because we're not even selling the workshop pack yet. But I just need to tell you this because obviously we are already doing a cat here, and it's a great opportunity to talk about it. Right, I'm nearly at the end. Oh, I've made a bit of an extra loop here. Oh well, never mind, I'm just going to cut that off. So I'm nearly at the end, and I'm going to show you the next bit, which is when you do this is quite nerve-wracking, so I do want to cover that because I don't want you to be left on your own with this if you have never done this before. So what you would be doing is you're going over this again at least one more time, if not twice. but I'm going to leave it like that now because it will be fine just for the purpose of demonstrating. And I'm going to cut the last bit off there. So then you're going to cut the side of the tail open. So this is no different from when you do a pom-pom. Because you fasten this the wool on really well, you shouldn't have any sort of wool coming off. So you're cutting the side open like that, all the way to the top there. And then you do this on the other side. There. Nice stripy tail there. This is obviously a technique that you can use for other projects as well, so it's a good one to learn. If you want to make a fox tail or a squirrel tail or anything that has got a bushy tail. So now you've got your cardboard that you've sewn up inside. You've got your wire still there. And all you need to do now is, and you obviously perforated this cardboard so much that actually with a little bit of help, you should just be able to literally tear that off the center. As long as you've got a nice strong thread, it should just tear, even just with that one line. You might have a little bit of cardboard left in there, and that's fine. So just tear that off along the perforation, especially if you've done it several times over. You will that cardboard is really ready to come out. So don't be afraid to pull it, because you have sewn that together so well that it wants to come out. You shouldn't have to cut into it because you don't want to cut the thread accidentally. And if you've got a bit of cardboard left in there, don't fret over it, it's fine. Yeah. And once you've done that, you will have made your tail. So you might have to just trap that end of the tail in the wire again. I've just pulled that off accidentally. Oh, there's a bit of cardboard left that I probably want to take out. So the tail basically looks like the cat's just, I've completely put her out of shape here. But once the tail is done, you can now curl it around the cat to make it look nice and cozy. This is now secure. If you have bits at the very end that come off, you can felt them down. You can see the end of my thread here. So that, because I've done this at a rush, I'm just going to cut this off. The tail will be absolutely secure, and then you cover up the join here with a bit of black so it makes it more integral to the body, and then you've got your kitten that you can curl up with a tail either underneath or it can go over the top, whichever way. However your kitten sleeps normally, that's how you can pose the cat. And I don't want to leave you with this image. Just imagine that when you've had taken care and you've got that little tail done, and it can sort of curve underneath the cat, and or you can have it going like that, either way. However you want your little kitten to be curled up in your little basket. And that's basically all I want to say about the Maker's Box for January. Not January. God, somebody help me, get me out of this. December. This is the Maker's Box for December I'm talking about. January is another month and it's coming, but not just yet. So the only other thing I need to tell you now is the surprise box. But before I do this, I'm just going to say hello to some of the people who are hopefully still with me. Oh, we're running a bit late as well. So the surprise box won't take very long because I can't tell you very much about it actually. So many comments. My cat's only got 3 legs, so I'll be saving fluff there too. Well, we're not even needle felting legs onto the cat because they're all tucked under, but feel free if you want to needle felt legs. I'm sure you've got the skills to do it. I'm going to make mine look like my cat. I'll say Fluff as he's black and white. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, make it your cat. You've got the basic shape, and however you decorate the cat is entirely up to you. You don't have to use the wool that comes in the Maker's Box. You've probably got the exact right color for your own design already. And what does Lizzie say? Hot water. I made curls with the sparkly stuff. Didn't use the hot water though. We'll try it again. Yes, sorry, the hot water definitely just adds the magic. It really frizzes them up. I think it's because it's a plasticky curl. So okay, right, I'm going to get on with the next bit, unwrapping the surprise box. So let's have a look in the overview camera. So there's the surprise box. I can't ever show you very much what's in there. I'm going to have a quick peek myself first. So you get your newsletter. I can show you that. It's not a secret. And then it's nice wrapping. It's Christmassy wrapping. I can tell you that. And I can show you, maybe I can show you this without, maybe not that. I can show you that. That's it. That's all you're going to get to see. So typically the surprise box has got exciting fiber in there. The surprise box for November, I think people absolutely loved. That was and you can still get it today if you're quick. But the one for December, which I'm showing you now, or barely showing you now, is called Sparkle. That's the December surprise box. Is called Sparkle, and that is available from the 1st of December. If you're watching this live, that is tomorrow, and it's going to be a promising box, I'm sure. And I should also just mention that Alicia, who's always a very loyal follower of the makers, and she's here today as well, she does actually run little Zoom sessions. I don't know where to put that box there. She runs little Zoom sessions that are organized by herself, but are increasing in followings, and you can get in touch with her. She might even post it on here. But if you need to find her, either you can go onto our Everyone a Maker Facebook page, where she does put those Zoom sessions if you want a buddy to craft along. In fact, it's quite a few buddies now. So there is a nice group of people who set a date aside, and then they make the fairy and they make the maker's box. So they will be making the kitten, and they will also let the imagination run wild on the surprise box. So do join Everyone a Maker, the Facebook page. Alicia will be advertising the dates on there. We share them as well. And if you ever, even if you just ask the question, where can I make my subscription box with Alicia, then we'll obviously tag her, or you can tag her yourself, and then you can make the box with Alicia already. She'll be very happy to welcome her onto her Zoom session. So I think that's all of it now. So remember, we have got a discount code running until the 30th. Where did I put that piece of paper now? Until the 30th of, that's today, only today, until today, 30th of November, until midnight. 1 minute after midnight, you've had it. So place your order using the code Rainbow 2020. It works on everything but our subscription boxes. Our subscription boxes are hugely discounted already, because we're giving the quantity that of the boxes that we are benefiting, we're giving that back to you. So our subscription boxes are very reasonably priced. And remember, you can also add to your subscription box if you want to save on postage. Just either tell us that you want it to be added to your subscription box, or put the code add to subs into the code box. It tells you all in the box how you can take greater advantages from the subscription box. And of course, you're also entitled to the sub club discount, which changes every month, but there are certain products which are you get a special discount on, and of course at the moment you can use the Rainbow 2020 discount code. But I'm telling you now, one of them is my favorite tool, the Prim tool, that you can buy through the sub club. And Emma told me the bits, but I've forgotten them all. So ice, I think ice, I said, is very little that we're using for the subscription boxes. But in any case, you can just find out yourself, because it's well advertised in the subscription boxes. So I'm hoping that if you haven't got a box yet, that will have whet your appetite and made you really, really want to have one. It is Christmas coming, so you can put that on your Christmas list. Remember, you can cancel anytime, and you can also skip payments. You're in charge of your own subscription box. What's it called? Contract. You manage your own account. That's the word. And Of course, the subscription box, so the sub club code only works if you're a subscriber. We've got a very clever system. They recognize you by name, so you can't just hand them out left, right, and center. This is your special, extra special code that we let you have. And tomorrow, if you're watching tomorrow, we're going to start on the McHoggies. We're starting making hands, feet, and preparing the fabric for Heather Humble McHoggy. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, shame on you. No, we've got a special Christmas project throughout Advent, leading up to Christmas, and that is making the McHoggy family. And I want to show them to you, but they're somewhere else and I'm not getting up again. That would be just too rude, leaving you here all the time. So join me tomorrow at 1 p.m. And of course, you can win yourself something, which I'm not telling you yet because that's going to be a surprise. And Emma will be there to support us. And our regular live streams, which are happening on YouTube every Tuesday at 1 p.m., will be repeated on Facebook as part of a watch party on Thursday at 7 p.m. And for that, I had a little leaflet as well. Oh, it's up there, but I'm not getting up to get it because then I have to leave you again. So that's all from me today. I hope you did enjoy my waffling, I want to say, my rumblings. Sorry, it's been a bit of a strange day, overshadowed by the fact that my son now has to self-isolate because of this idiotic situation at the moment. But I'm sure that lots of you have had to do exactly the same, and it was only a matter of time that it was coming to us. Having 4 children and 3 of them are still in full-time education, it's not a surprise. So stay happy, stay strong. It will all come to an end. The end is in sight. And in the meantime, we'll be by your side, stabbing along with you and hoping that you... Oh, I know what else is in the sub club. It's the polar bear pack as well. So remember, we're doing that in January together over 3 Tuesdays. So I'm going to love you and leave you now and see you tomorrow. Bye.